fuck this up.
Yeah, be serious. The pressure's on.
You got one shot.
One opportunity.
Everybody's looking at you.
Private eyes.
This is worse than the time.
Shut up and do it.
We were on a rope swing outside of Justin's house, and Carl just said, the word anything, and I fell off the fucking swing into a fence. On that note, welcome to Warhammer 40,000. This is the Tainted Hive. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, no rope swings, and tonight...
There's no rope swings in the far future?
There might be. Honestly, there might be. But tonight, there's only war, and only Warhammer.
Feral
Not
worlds.
for recreation.
How do you have
Justin?
stilts but no rope swings?
How does the game still run on, to quote Justin, why the fuck are there still candles in the 41st millennium?
Dude, wax is an
You know how many
enduring
humans there are?
commodity.
That's tons of earwax.
Earwax, body wax, rendered wax.
Body
Well, corpses have to go somewhere. You got corpse paste, you got corpse scrub, you got corpse shampoo.
Corpse candles. Corpse scampi.
Wait, is
But on
that
that
canon, or are
note-
you being a dork?
No, it actually is. So, like,
Gross.
we'll talk about Necromunda on a different day. Anyway,
Corpse
sure
paste.
will.
It's a household name.
corpse. The main thing is corpse starch, which is the body breakdown, but it's not just humans. It's everything. Anyway, in the grim darkness of our future, there's only war. And tonight, there's only Warhammer, brought to you by our wonderful, wonderful supporters over at PrimetimeMagic.com.
But don't take our word for it. Head over to primetimemagic.com now to prove that they're wonderful, wonderful people. With wonderful, wonderful selections.
the radio voice behind it. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Wow, wait, why are you guys not doing an ad read every fucking hell?
Because we like to hear you talk, Brad.
Nobody likes that.
That's not
Brad,
true.
you like
we
to hear
have
it too.
200 followers or
No,
something.
I really don't. I really don't. But
All right.
thank you to the gentlemen over at PrimetimeMagic.com who are sponsoring the entire second season of the Tainted Hive. We appreciate their support, just like we appreciate each and every one of you who tune in to watch us be utter ridiculous friends every single Sunday. So, which you get to see on Tuesdays. That being said,
Or
You're
Sundays,
the real
if you're-
heroes.
they are the real heroes. I'm your GM Brad, the terrible GM, who doesn't let Carl or Alex roll dice for like the last two sessions.
That
And
just
joining
means,
my
that
fault-
just means our dice didn't fail us.
That's true.
Correct.
It's because I'm a gunslinger now.
Yeah, Justin comes into his own, complains every game that I keep breaking his arms.
This is
what
why I
happens when I
want to
don't
dual
break his
wield.
We got Justin playing Roderick Wrangler, Mike playing Dmitry, Alex playing Mordecai, and Carl playing Osiris. Welcome to the Tainted Hive, Season 2, Children of Rokarth, Episode 28. Holy hell. Can you believe we made it this far? But on that note,
I would just like to call into question, what the hell does holy hell even mean? Like, they're just two opposite things strung into one phrase.
I think the holy hell very similarly to jumbo shrimp. I just love it and I don't question it.
It's like casting Sacred Flame.
That's true too. Sacred Flame. Although, the Inquisition has a few things to say about that. But last time on the Tainted Hive, you guys found yourselves in the apartments of Morkath, looking over and kind of deliberating on a fair bit of information. And Dmitry, through some piecing together of thought processes about the wounds suffered by the good old Elena, also known as Nightshade, well, you thought back to your time in the Astra Militarum and you couldn't quite piece it together. Thinking from a Mordecai perspective, you'd seen or been trained on wounds similar to what happened to Elena with that kind of dissolving tissue. And you had recollection of those being known to be side effects of Drakari or Dark Eldar weapons for us old hats who know them before they got renamed, or Tyrannid weapons, bioweapons. You then began to make your way to the cutter parts to cash in on a tattooed arm, to try to gain your 15,000 solar bounty. However, in the process of doing so, a few of you had the feeling that you were being followed. Roderick stepped into a doorway, found you were in fact being followed, and you baited this individual to follow you to the walkway right outside of the Mordecai facility that Dmitry was healed at all those hours ago. And in doing so, this person realized they were caught, turned to run, only to find Roderick standing there with a gun pointed at him. What ensued can only be called the shortest 15 seconds of horrible missed rolls by everyone except for Roderick. As
Technically, it was missed rolls by me, too. I just happened to be a secret psyker. Carry on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As skulls covered in candles were shattered by Dmitry, the individual in question did manage to get off a shot on Roderick for next to no damage, but Roderick managed to quickly pow, gun this person down. And this person, this human figure with pale skin, almost like a little bit of chitin above the lip, almost like a mustache, but you realize she's actually a female. Almond eyes, slightly elongated skull, and the perhaps the most telling sign is the third arm on the left side of the body that was underneath the cloak holding a gun. As we left off last time, Dmitry, you were cutting the head off, or had mentioned you were going to cut the head off, and your diagnoster was running. You rolled a 21 against your Mordecai skill of 60 for humans, and 55 for Mordecai in general. And when I left you, I told you that the data was coming into your diagnoster tool. And there were a couple pieces of concern for you. The data you see on your diagnoster, every indicator is this individual's human. There's the keys that I think you're looking for based on what you've said to me last session and what you've said to kind of look for. The person that you are scanning in front of you is coming back as biologically human. There are no known diseases. There are no known infections. The body is as clean as a whistle, except for that weird little third arm on the left side of the body, the slightly chitinous mustache of the upper lip, and the slightly elongated skull. And the fact that their fingertips erupted into claws to try to rip Roderick's face off.
Yep.
Operative word being
Beyond that, operative word being try. Beyond that, every single metric says human.
Okay. Thank you. That actually confirms it. Okay. We should go. Like, get to somewhere secure and then talk.
What is your problem, Dmitry? You seem a little shook up. As I'm rifling through this guy's pockets, do I find anything?
Have you ever... This chick's pockets, you mean?
This person's pockets.
This chick with mitts?
What is chitin? Am I the
Bro,
only
I
one
got
that's
you.
not getting that?
Chitin is a
like beetle exterior.
chitin is a
Yeah.
shell-like exterior.
Okay.
Carapace. Think of it like that. Rifling through the pockets.
Exoskeleton.
There you go.
Exoskeleton. Lobster. Rifling through the pockets, you're going to find 37 solars.
Here you go, Osiris.
Oh, thank you. What did I
You also
do to deserve
find-
this?
You also find a auto pistol with 2 clips.
Here you go, Roderick. Just like alien.
2 clips?
2 clips. You find a heavy saw weapon.
Here you go,
2
Dmitry. Bone saw.
Oh, it's
Not a
the
bone saw.
bone saw.
Not a bone saw. It's a two-handed. It almost looks like a two-handed chainsword.
Oh, almost looks like a two-handed.
start
Or it
to
is a
hand it to
two-handed.
Not a
Dmitry?
chainsword.
I
but
look
it's-
at it again.
Like a serrated... Right?
It's no, it revs and it whirs and it moves. But Mordecai, you go to grab it, and the casing is not the plasteel that you would expect. It's almost like bone. The handle, there's one handle down where you would expect. So a normal two-handed chainsword.
Before I touch
like
it,
this.
Brad.
Before you touch it,
Before I touch it, does it have any symbols or anything weird on it other than the fact that it's bone?
you don't recognize any symbols that you've seen in the past that would look that way. There are
Cool.
no markings on it.
This one is pretty cool, Dmitry. And I'm just going to hand it up to him and keep rifling through.
Okay, so to hand this up, it is.
I use both hands.
Yeah, it's almost 4.5 feet long. A standard two-handed chainsword is a double-handed sword. This is not that. This is more like this.
Oh, okay. Like one of those
So you got a hand
Star
here,
Trek
like,
things.
kind of like where it's like a
Okay.
almost like a
bat
halberd
lift.
kind of handle.
Is that
But
called a bat lift?
I don't know. Y'all know I don't know Star Trek.
It's
I'm
called a
sorry.
weed whacker, man.
You're a
I don't know
weed
Star
whacker.
Trek
It is.
either. I'm more thinking cable guy.
Yeah, but so like the hands are about like the grips are about a foot about 2 feet apart,
Okay.
and the blade runs from in between those grips and up. But when you go to grasp it, it is a chainsword. It does, like, if you were to take the handle, if you choose to rev it, it's going to spin.
That sounds
But it doesn't make any noise.
What?
It doesn't make the throaty roaring noise you expect.
Stealth
Brad.
chainsword.
Is this thing warm to the touch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like an engine.
So gross.
Instead, it does roar. It makes noise, but it sounds like a scream,
Oh no!
not an actual chainsaw.
Oh, okay.
Imagine, like,
I get it. I just
Yeah,
I'm
I
confused
got
as
it.
to
So
got
you handing that to me?
implications.
Yeah,
I'll grab it.
I'll hand it up to you. That looks
Alright.
pretty cool. Looks exotic.
Cool. I set it down and I start roasting that bitch with the flamer.
okay, understood.
What's are you
Understood.
doing?
Have you ever been fucked by bug?
Mordecai, the last thing you find.
The boiled basket had quite a few bed bugs in it, if that's what you mean.
Mordecai, the last thing you find is a 2.5 foot bone sword. It's literally serrated bone. Looks like carved ivory tusk almost.
I start to hand that to Dmitry, and then I hand it to Osiris instead.
Okay,
Wait, what did you find? Sorry, I was spacing out.
one-handed sword,
Bone sword.
2.5
It's
inch
made out of
bone,
bone,
serrated ivory.
ivory.
He hands it to you. Osiris, do you take it?
Yeah.
Give me an awareness cognitions test now.
Oh fuck.
Plus 40.
Sorry about that, friend.
Plus
You said
40.
plus 40?
Plus 40.
You really want me to know what this is, huh? What did you say was
Awareness
Sinicious?
cognitions.
It's 40. That's 54 under 99.
Okay. You see a face just in the air in front of you. Bright orange eyes, cat-like slits, an elongated bluish purplish skull, a mouthful of serrated teeth, and the voice goes, "You should not have this."
Brad, how many hours have you put into Space Marine recently?
We need to dip. Now.
The face, Osiris, goes away. The connection is cut.
Oh my.
What's wrong with
So-
you guys?
Nothing. What? Did I miss something?
These guys are
So
acting
I'm
weird.
going to start. All right. Fuck this. Okay. So
Why do you look fidgety, Dmitry?
those
Loosen up,
blues.
man.
Who,
We
what,
just
what
won.
were the name of those the blue skin fuckers that tried to lead
Morketh?
you, Mordecai, Morketh,
Mordecai,
And Nikita.
Morketh.
Nikita.
and they had some like gills and scaly shit going on, right?
On the neck.
Yeah. Those weren't mutants, man. And this, well, I guess not dude, this chick. Yeah, this is a gene stealer cult. That's what we're dealing with. And if you don't know what gene stealers are, Brad, how much does Dmitry know about this shit, man? This
Dmitry. Take 50 experience for figuring it out.
okay.
Nice.
In
But for real,
addition,
how much does
the gap in your brain, that wall that's been there since you had talents inserted on you in season 1 fades. You fought Tyranids. You fought Gene Stealers. That commanding
Oh, God.
officer that you killed him because he was a member of a cult. You went to jail for killing a Gene
Respect.
Stealer cultist because that is so insipid and so intrepid that it's so hard to root them out that when you figured it out, you shot him dead. But no one
No,
could
I
prove
didn't.
it.
But
The guy, the Sedum stamp.
murder, you know.
Murder is murder.
How do you
but-
feel to have your character arc?
So, to the rest of the party, you see
Fuck is a
Dmitry
gene
begin to wet himself with this sudden orgasm of knowledge, and
Starts pissing.
so
I also want to interject really quick.
I have no
Justin?
idea what a Gene Stealer is, so
dude, I'm
Justin,
watching. I got you.
I wrote this entire campaign before Space Marine 2 ever came out. I'm so happy that how this played together.
hell yeah.
Real quick, Osiris, are you still holding that sword?
Yep.
Dimitri's gonna attempt to, like, slap it out of his hand.
What are you doing? Don't touch me.
That is wrong. Drop it. Please. And that's the first time you've heard a nicety out of me.
That's why his hand opened up and that sword dropped to the ground.
So, gene stealers
What should I be worried about?
are the harbingers of a Tyrannid Hive fleet. And those fuckers consume worlds.
Excuse me?
So, yeah. Gene stealers drop down onto the planet, and they go, and
I think this is broken. Come again?
they start stinging people with their fucking, what would it be, like their seventh
proboscis.
appendage? Yeah, they start sticking people and injecting, like, gene seed into them, and they start getting infected and like a xenomorphs from Aliens, that kind of vibe. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they start breeding, and this is like the mega ultra fucked STD of the universe. And then you get gene stealer cults, and then gene stealer cults, they breed and breed and breed, and as they get more generations, they get a bigger psychic presence, and that becomes a beacon that the Hive fleet then gravitates to and starts consuming world after world after world.
Roderick walks up to Dmitry and puts his hand on his forehead like a mother checking for a fever.
I'm sweating and I'm freaking out, and we need to get off world now, because the only way to solve this at this point, if all of this is going on, is exterminatus on this planet, and that shit's about to happen. We need
Dmitry, I agree. This place sucks. I don't care if they destroy the whole place. But how does this tie in with Gratis? Would they be using this as a way to corrupt them and make it easier, or is Gratis just secondary to this?
I think it's irrelevant to this at this point. I mean, if gene stealers have infected this world to the point where... Well, hold up. Osiris, did you share what kind of psychic
I
happened to you?
Oh, yeah, I share.
And you have a psychic presence that strong?
Yeah, and
This world is already, like, the Nids already have it in its crosshairs. Like, it's only a matter of time before this world just gets deleted.
Was Gratis maybe the infection catalyst?
I don't know. Dimitri's probably only ever heard of the direct infection of a gene stealer to a human host, or the subsequent breeding of future lesser gene stealer.
Perhaps we should get our
hybrids.
superiors on the horn and tell them of this revelation.
I'm
And this
already
fucker right
holding my
here,
Vox
pointing at
caster.
the bitch on the ground, that's like a middle of the road kind of...
Let's go. Let's
like
get out of
mutants.
here
I
to the
dial
boiled basket. Can we start
Halikarns.
walking as we're doing that?
100% dial Halikarn, but we should
Yeah.
also figure out where the nearest landing pad is.
I dial
It's-
the direct line, not the Seneschal line. The direct line.
Yeah.
It's right
Unfortunately
over
for
by-
you, the direct line goes to the Seneschal. But
That's great.
very, very quickly. So you make a call, and it's not long.
ring.
Yeah,
Ring, ring.
it takes a minute before you hear Malison's voice. But Corvus Malison is on the other line and goes, "Oh, I do hope this one is important. Not to say that it's not, but you know how he gets about secrecy."
Shut up for a second. Dimitri's going feverish about something called a gene stealer cult.
What?
Yeah,
Give me him now.
here he is.
Dmitry, how much do you relay?
I'll just keep rambling, vomiting at the mouth, all of that shit.
You get about 3 minutes out, and he goes, "Oh, okay. Give me Roderick. Give Dmitry.
I take
Dmitry.
the phone back from him.
But they
as he's
penetrate you with the proboscis.
Okay. Yeah. See what I mean?
So Roderick, as Dmitry is basically shouting in the Voxcaster, you start to hear like a woman yell, or not a woman, like a person yelling for their mother or for somebody else on a cell phone, like, "Give the phone back to."
Mordecai
Give
and
the
Osiris
phone
are just
back to
dragging
Roderick.
Dmitry away, and Dimitri's just yelling, "Proboscis!
It
Proboscis!"
will breed you.
I'm like, yep. See what I mean? Important, yeah.
It is utterly crucial that you find out what the Gratis is. The world be damned, and unfortunately, you all may be damned. But if what Dmitry says is true, then what this means could be a boon for the enemy on the entire sector. It could be far more reaching than Vol.
I mean, we have a sample, isn't that enough? Also, Roderick Wrangler doesn't do damned. Thank you. And I just kind of like walk away from the group. I'm like, these fuckers can stay here, but I'm getting the fuck off this rock.
Roderick, you have been selected by Halikarn to serve the Inquisition, which means you have already been damned from the minute he took you. If you think you're ever leaving this to go back to your original life, you are a sad, poor, mistaken soul. However, a sample might be viable. That being said, Dmitry is ravening about proboscis and pollution and procreation and all of the other P words that have to do with gene steals. What the fuck is going on that planet?
Is proboscis like a tea?
No, it's like a sharp little needle dick that just jabs you in the skin and infects you.
Oh, that sounds
Are they like bed bugs?
like nothing I'm familiar with.
Well, talk to the women you sleep with, maybe they'll know.
Ha, good one. All right.
You deserved that one for quite some time.
Well,
But-
we got jumped by some beetle person, and,
Beat a person how?
Gene Stealer.
you hear Dmitry in the background
I hear
yelling
that,
Gene
yeah.
Stealer.
Did they have blue skin, carapace, and sharp claws?
Yes,
I
yes,
look over.
yes.
Yeah,
Airdrop
and,
us flamers and meltas.
bitchy
Remember-
red mustache.
Remember pale skin.
Pale skin,
elongated.
red mustache thing. Yeah.
So you hear Corvus do a sharp little intake of breath and go, that is not a gene stealer. That is a gene stealer hybrid.
Not a gene stealer, you say. Gene stealer hybrid, he says. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm going to keep talking.
Roderick. The culmination of a gene stealer's life cycle is there are 4 different iterations of hybrids, which is the degeneration of the gene stealer DNA until they look like a true human. When 2 4th-generation hybrids procreate...
sorry, I fell asleep. Can you start over? Also, how the fuck do I kill it?
We have to kill it, or it will kill the system.
I'm giving you back to Dmitry. You don't understand. Yeah. Let me give him back to Dmitry.
Dmitry, you hear Malice and go, Dmitry. Dmitry. Someone
Yes.
slap Dmitry. Okay, good.
Yes.
You're there. Listen. Roderick doesn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, but you do. Now, that being said, you need to stay calm. This is probably not as bad as you think, but it's definitely not fucking good. I will alert Halikarn. What I need you to do is we need to get to the root of what the Gratis has to do with this. You say that you have seen gene stealer hybrids, 3rd generations. Great, beautiful, terrible, hate this, don't love it. But what we really need to find out then is where they're coming from and how bad this is. How heavily have they infiltrated? Because if it's not so far infiltrated as to turn the world over yet, we can get ahead of this before they summon the Hive fleet. If it is not, then I need to be talking to Halikarn about calling the Grey Knights.
So there's a psychic presence that just face fucked our buddy here
Dmitry,
when he grabbed a sword.
Dmitry, that is probably the pure strain gene stealer. When a gene stealer populates a world, it has to make its cult, which then matriculate through the world to set the world up for seizing.
Cool.
The psychic
Do you agree
presence-
that this is serious?
Of course it's fucking serious. That's why I'm going to wake
Perfect.
Halikarn.
So here you go. You're on a ship. I want a drop pod loaded with all kinds of fucking goodies. I'm talking meltas, weapons, fucking virus bombs. I want all that shit. And Halikarn and his cheap penny-pinching ass can either send it down here or we are all dead anyway. So fuck you.
Dimitri.
Send us weaponry.
Dimitri.
You just
And then
hear
we
from
can
the background,
find you
I like
your little
Halikarn.
Shut the fuck up, Mordecai.
Malison goes,
You simping fuck.
Dimitri, we are
what my
dispatching
character
a little bit of assistance and a shuttle with some arms. However, we don't carry virus bombs. Those are banned under the Lex Imperialis from thousands of years ago. From a situation back on... They're banned. That's all you need to know.
What
As for
color is
meltas,
your neck?
My neck is tan, just like the rest of my body.
Okay, what were you saying about meltas? Carry on.
Tell me, there are the 4 of you are there. I will ask for some assistance on the ground. We are still dealing with a bit of a problem up here. That being said, what weaponry do you require?
I
I'll
ask
send
him
you
if
a
he
list.
can scan the tardigrade fields where we need to go. Ask him if he can scan it. Can you hear me?
I want
This is so stupid.
I want 4 bolt guns
And bolt pistols.
and enough ammunition to supply us. I want a melt-a-gun
And a force sword.
and a force sword. And here's Roderick for your fucking scan.
Can you scan the
I'm
tardigrade
out. I'm
fields?
done. Dimitri
says-
goes over and yaks.
Dmitry goes to yak. Okay. Roderick, you ask me to scan the tardigrade fields. He goes, yeah, of course I can.
We've
Tardigrade
gotten
fields.
information that there are... Here's the coordinates. I don't fucking know. They're
You give him the
doing
coordinates,
something
and
there.
he goes, well, you don't need to go to the tardigrade fields.
Oh?
Thank goodness.
You hear a bit of sadness in his voice as he says, there's nothing alive at the tardigrade fields.
Said Rip Petronilla.
Well, perhaps. Are you looking for Petronilla Vivar?
If that was her last name, I don't know. I didn't
Head
even
of-
get a number.
As he says Petronilla,
Leader in the
I
Adeptus
butt my ear up
Administratum.
next to his Vox beam.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah. Petronilla
You mean-
Vivar of the Arbites has been rapid
Yeah.
fire shuttled over to the Cathedrum under the Sisters Hospitalia for treatment of extreme wounds, including, massive trauma, limb loss, blood loss, partial degradation of the structural integrity of the spine. It sounds like she was hit with some kind of an acid weapon.
That is unfortunate. Also sending you the coordinates of a mushroom farm that had severe hints of corruption, in case you feel like nuking it. Here you go. Let you make that call.
What kind of corruption?
Look at Dmitry. What kind of corruption would you call that? You burned it, but I think there might have been more.
Chaotic time?
The chaotic kind, he says.
Excellent. No, we are not going to give our position up in orbit. However, I will be sending you 5 melta-bombs to place around the structural integrity to take that down.
Roger, Roger.
Also, super fast, real quick, about the Sisters Hospitalieri.
Yeah.
The way that you described it, they are like one step below Space Marines in their capability to fight. They would be
breaking a third
very
wall.
useful.
The
Don't
Adeptus
break the third wall.
Sororitas.
It's fine.
The Adeptus Sororitas are
Fourth wall.
the. This is the third wall because we're not talking to. I'm talking to you.
Oh, gotcha.
The Adeptus Sororitas, which are the Sisters of Battle, have always been called the air quote female Space Marines. They are not the exact equivalent of a Space Marine. However, it is in the Warhammer world the only all female army in existence. So it's a heavy nod to that. Now that being said, they fucking act like Space Marines. They're in power armor. They carry bolt guns. They're fucking badass. That being said, they're also predominantly extremely ecclesiarchy heavy. Like
And they're
nuns.
human.
They're battle nuns. Yeah, and they're human. They're not genetically modified.
Right. Sure. And
But they're badass.
I have a +1 with them. So if
You
we
do?
figure out where we need to go and destroy stuff, I'm just saying putting in a call to them sounds very advantageous.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Corvus Malicent has committed to sending you as much weaponry as possible based on your ask, which that's a hell of an ask. He's also going to send you some melt
More
bombs
of
to
a
take down a
tell.
convexum. Roderick, you got him on the line. What else do you need?
You got any stims, man? We're fucked up down here.
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah, I will send a double dose of stims. You cannot use more than 2 in a 24-hour period without long-term detrimental effects. However, they will give you a bit of a boost to your ability to suffer, well, pain. Let's put it that way.
I'm going to shout to Roderick, me too. My ribs.
Yeah, all of our ribs are fucked up. Between the three of us, we've got like one good rib.
So.
Critically so. All right. You have Corvus says.
Is he actually
that-
sending any of the guns?
Oh, he's sending you things. Yeah, he can't send you what you were asked for, but he's going to send you a bolt pistol, a bolter, and a meltagun.
What?
I mean, if Halikarn's conviction and dedication to the Imperium was what an Inquisitor
It's
should
more so
be.
of if Halikarn's armory was big enough.
That's fine. I have all the guns that I want, so
Y'all are carrying
you
a
guys
lot
can
of fucking
pick
weaponry.
between those.
Fucking trading up, man.
Hell yeah.
Fighting Nid, son. Fuck these things.
So, Corvus
Can we
says
still
to you that a shuttle will be landing outside of Ditch Haven, unmarked, in 6 hours.
We're gonna go take a nap.
If anybody else is willing to make a quick stop, we can go get that. I still want that money, personally. I don't understand the gravity of this situation as much, and I'm gonna probably still do that.
I mean, we're like literally a block away or some shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're
fair.
about, you're about a 5-minute walk away. All right, so you guys head out. You head towards the cutter parts. The weird sense of trepidation of being watched, it's still there.
Of course
still
it
there.
is. At
Not
this
even make a
point,
roll. It's still there.
Okay.
You guys make your way to the cutter parts. The whole facility is in motion as it was before. Sounds of grinders, sounds of the sounds of like sparks and arc welding happening, multiple sounds of gunshots and gunfire happening. And as you approach the front gates, you see that unlike last time, they are closed shut. 4 guards stand in front, wielding auto guns, just slung across their arms, not really doing anything, resting their arms on them. One of them looks to the 3 of you or the 4 of you and goes, "Yeah, no, we're closed for business at this point, mates. No new business tonight. It's too late." Looks at his watch and he goes, "It's about 1 a.m. We'll reopen right around 8 a.m. for customer visits."
I believe this is important enough. C3PO would
I slapped
want
the
this.
arm on the desk,
Just pull the arm out. Okay.
claiming
I
a
was gonna
bounty.
wave with it, but
I don't remember Bro's name that came out. The two
And
that
I
were
do it
dealing
hand
arms with
first,
us.
so the severed end is like towards him.
Oh.
I don't know if we got
Alright.
Bro's name.
It was a
Checking
weird
right
thing.
now.
There was like some numbers and some letters.
Farron
I thought it was-
Cyrax.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, who's the tech priest at the cutter parts.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys make that comment, and he goes, "Yeah, well, I mean, all right, you can go speak with them. That's fine." Raps
go
on the
talk
door.
with Fuckwat. That's what it was.
Fuck
Yeah,
what,
his name was
yeah.
Fuckwat.
That's
His
right.
nickname was Fuckwat. The doors swing open, and you see the same chaos of motion. Vehicles being prepared, weapons being tested, crates moving. It's almost as if, well, they're not taking customers. The activity never ceases here 24/7 is what it feels like. To the right are the stalls where you had done some shopping prior. They're all empty. But as you walk in, you see the red-robed, dingy, I'll call it a dingy red as it was, tech priest kind of making motions, and he looks to you all and begins crutching over and comes up to you all and goes, yes, you should not be here. We are not accepting visitors at this time.
Yes, we understand that it is past your regular hours. We just thought this was important enough, given everything that's happened over the last day or so. And I look
Okay.
at Dmitry,
I whip out the arm again.
and I start pulling up on my picture recorder the pictures of Elena. I said, I believe you guys wanted an individual taken care of for her mistreatment towards your organization. And I'm going to start pulling up pictures and video of her melting.
Don't forget we have a +1 with the cutters.
You do have +1 with the cutters. You watch as Fuckwat, aka Farron Cyrus, looks at the cell and goes, Oh my. Well, you still need Arlie 3 hands. Let me. Arlie,
3
yes,
hands.
Yes, the gentlemen that you issued a bounty to are here to. Yes. No, I'm not. No. You still need to. He looks to you all and he goes, Which bounty are you here to claim again? She said she issued 2.
Nightshade, Elena.
Elena Vasquez, Nightshade of the Scarred Hands. She says
Formally.
that bounty has already been claimed.
Bullshit.
They say bullshit. Well,
As you can
don't
s-
take that out on me. It's Roderick.
As you can see, and I put it closer to him, this is her on the ground.
They do have
Right here.
video. They do seem to have video.
And her arm, Dmitry.
You
And
tell
they have an
me
arm.
who the fuck claimed it earlier, and I will go find them and fuck them.
Since I'm in that picture, I'm gonna pose with the arm in the way that I remember posing with the body when the picture was taken.
I have Osiris cutting her arm off as well.
Yeah. So he says to you, he goes, Arlie is on her way down. I apologize that I, as the local tech priest, do not have the authority to actually pay the bounty. But what she is saying is that an individual, a Mordecai,
Morketh.
Yeah. He collected the bounty roughly 6 hours ago.
Can you fast forward on the picture recorder, mate? I think we got pictures of that too.
Yeah, I have pictures of Morketh right here. I keep going through. Yes, this guy that was clearly with us the entire time and had no chance to come collect a bounty.
Speak to Arlie. She'll be down in 2 minutes.
Happy to.
And he kind of goes off to keep bustling. Very shortly,
I see why they called him Fuckwat.
God damn it.
Very, very quickly, Arlie comes down, and same as you remember.
Just give us 15,000 solars, Brad.
The bob cut, the short hair, and she looks to you all and she goes,
hand it over.
Gentlemen, it is so good to see you all. However, I'm a bit perplexed as to why you're trying to claim a bounty that has already been paid.
Oh, we are a bit confused how somebody claimed a bounty that was not theirs. And furthermore, he said that this gentleman, Morketh, which you can see clearly here, is also dead because of his actions, was near us.
Did you kill him?
Well, I signed an NDA, I cannot say. However, I do know for a fact that he could not have possibly come here.
Mm-hmm. Why?
To collect a... Because I saw him from the time Elena was dead until the time he was dead. He was near us. He could not have possibly come here.
But that's impossible. I paid him myself.
You paid somebody who was pretending to be him. There's no possible way.
No, it's that exact man. I shook his hand. I handed him the bounty. He handed me Elena's head. It was about 4.5 hours ago.
He's been dead for at least 5.
Elena's head? You mean the one that this shows clearly is melted?
No, melted.
Well, you have to understand that the problem with your picture recorder is that it shows a body with a melted head, which could be any body. Now, the arm is very telling evidence. However...
But you see in this video, he is cutting that arm off of that body, which is her body.
And look, I'm not saying the video is wrong. And she points over her shoulder. She goes, but Elena is strung up right there. And you look up, and there's a body hanging there.
Is she missing an arm?
No.
She missing legs?
It's also not Elena. She's right there.
That is not Elena, mate.
What the fuck do you mean that's not Elena? I've been at war with her for 10 years. That's Elena. I would know Elena if I didn't see Elena.
Something is odd here.
Look at the fucking tattoos down her right arm. It's the same arm you have there. The face, the long black hair. The body doesn't have black hair.
Okay.
Is there something going on with her brain that I can sense?
Give me an awareness initiations.
I'm going to use some fate because that was a 98.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Boy, if only I could just dive into people's minds like other psychers.
Look, I will say as a GM, it's kind of nice that you can't just rip everything out of somebody's brain, but yeah.
That's
I think her brain is going to be outside of her head soon, though.
52 under 59 plus
52 under 59. You can't necessarily immediately read someone's brain the way that unfortunately Quentin could by ripping memories. However, there's a weird amount of like warp and psyker feel in this area. There's a weird amount of like, to your point, you sense ripples. The whole place is vibrating like a cup on a rumble plate. Something is going on in the warp in this area. Something is throwing everybody off. Or at least, at the very minimum, Arlie.
So recap me for a second. She's describing this body that she's got strung up, giving it the details of Elena. But
Correct.
This body do not have any of these details at all. It's just some straw man.
Body's got like a short bob cut, tan skin, no tattoos,
so
brown
it's not
hair.
okay. So it's
not
not
Elena at all. It is.
There's some brain fuckery going on.
She's pointing at this and screaming at you all that it's Elena, and not understanding why you're here to collect a bounty when the body doesn't even look like Elena.
I look at her, look at the body, and look at her. How many drugs have you taken this evening? You on the gratis?
You want that wet?
Yeah. Have you been smoking a weed?
There goes our +1, friends.
He's actually correct. Your +1 goes away. You're now at 0. You've lost 1 reputation with them. However, she looks at you and she goes, I appreciate your willingness to support the Cutters. I also appreciate the hustle of someone willing to doll up an arm to look just like the arm that we have strung up. I'm not mad about that. But to insinuate that I am somehow on drugs as my arch enemy hangs above my head to get a payday is pathetic.
I do not want your money. At this point, I want the truth, because this is ridiculous.
All right, Mordecai. Let's maybe give this round to the lady. She clearly knows her enemy of 10 years. I give him a meaningful look. And it is late, and we are in the middle of their wonderful fortress here. Perhaps we can do this at a later date.
I just say
After we
good day
get
and
some
start to walk
sleep.
away then. Good afternoon.
This is Alex's horse. This is Alex's horse all over again.
I knew we weren't going to get this money, Brad. That's okay. That's okay.
I give her an indignant look, and I take the arm back, put it back in my backpack.
I will fully say there was a way you got the money. It was not the way you went about it.
Oh,
It's just money. It doesn't matter.
it's just money.
That's actually true. All right, so you guys head out of the Cutter's parts. You have at this point about 5.5 hours before a supply drop is supposed to land from.
And let's get 5.5 hours worth of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to head to the boiled basket? Do you want to find somewhere else to rest?
We
What's
should
the
go
plan?
somewhere else. They know
We
we're
should
holed up in the
definitely
basket.
go somewhere else.
There are dozens of hab units for rent.
Why do we need to rent
Means-
one? We had the key card to one perfectly fine one that has a bunch of formerly alive residents.
That's a good point.
Truth.
Is that where you guys want to go?
Yeah.
Hold up. You're talking Morkeths?
Yeah.
Bro, Gene Stealer. Fuck that.
Blue skin, gills.
Yeah, fuck
Dimitri's not on board.
Nope. If you want to get diddled in your sleep, that's fine, but Dimitri's out. We're not going there.
Are there any other rental establishments in the area?
Dozens. I mean, you're in a town where
Yeah.
people rent out a room whenever they want. Now, in terms of like tavern style, like the Boiled Basket, there's about 4 others.
Are there any where we could stay that it's luxurious enough to give us a better night's sleep for our potentially last night alive?
Yeah.
You're in the
got
bowels. Let's find out.
The Ritz of the bowels.
The Ritz of the Bowels.
The pooping on the Ritz.
The dice gods have ruled no with an 87.
Okay.
Boy, if only some of us still had our tent.
Should we do the most populated one?
Gene stealers are everywhere, dude. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's just go to the Boiled Basket. It's fine. We already have rooms there.
You make your way back to the Boiled Basket.
Oh, God.
The
Set up
innkeeper
your
looks to you all and
special
goes,
alarm.
Hello! Welcome back. Amasex? All around?
No, thank you.
I throw a solar
Just a
on the
bad.
table, I grab it, slam it, and keep walking.
I'm literally just going to flip him off on the
Alright.
way by.
Jeez.
You flip him off the way back. He just goes, you know,
Shut up, Roderick Wrangler, mate. Good night.
still only know who you are from staying here. Room 3 on the left. It's all yours still.
Rough day, partner. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope you like the Amasec.
What was your name?
Hey.
Herring? Red?
It actually is red herring. How'd you know?
I'm going to look at Red Herring and be like, if anybody's looking for us and they ask for me, you tell them exactly where the fuck I am. Okay?
Room 3 on the left. Absolutely.
100%.
All right.
Cool.
I can do that. Wait. Is this...
Now
is
that's
this,
Roderick Wrangler.
Is this a... Like, are you serious right now? Roderick, come on.
Well, yeah. The only
You know
people
good
who
old
would be
dog.
looking for me are people with good taste who know who the fuck I am. Good night.
Mordecai, he looks to you and he goes, Does Roderick really think that old Argyle is that terrible of a person to rat out my patrons? No, you guys sleep and rest. You're okay.
I believe he was being serious. If anybody's looking for us, we are welcome to meet them.
He reaches under the bar, pulls out a shotgun and goes, Do I need to load this for the first time? in
Now
years?
you're catching on. I'm going to be sleeping for a little bit.
I'm going to load this.
Yeah.
And he just goes
Night,
to the back. You all go upstairs. Room 3 is yours. It'll cost you the 10 solar or whatever it was for the whole group to stay again. I'll look it
I'll
up
pay
after
it.
this. I want to say it was 10 solar for the room for the night for all of you. So
I don't remember, but
I don't
it's
either.
fine.
It's fine. We'll look it up after this. That's not the important part. The point
I
is,
got it.
y'all are going to get the 5.5 hours of sleep. Now, it's a little bit under the 6 hours you're supposed to get. So you have two options. You can choose to sleep the full 6 hours, which will guarantee I don't make you roll. Or you can go out at 5.5 hours when the drop is coming. You can be 30 minutes late to the drop, or...
I'd rather be at the drop personally.
Okay.
If anybody else wants to sleep in, maybe we can split
Don't
the
say it.
party. But
you already said it.
but I'm getting up. I'm not missing that drop.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
Wait, before I go to bed, I'm going to find somewhere discreet to purge some warp charges.
In my typical fashion, I'm going to go into the room, not discreetly at all, and purgate also.
Why do I imagine Roderick just flopping on the bed out of exhaustion and fart purgating?
You got it.
I see this in my head. I'm like, this is what you're envisioning, isn't it?
It sure is. Every
All right,
time
so-
he just actually lets loose,
All
purgate.
right, so I'm rolling on the phenomenon table.
Phenomenon
Terrible.
table, yep. It's not stressful for either of you. Well, hang on,
That's
hang on.
cocked.
Carl, hang on. Osiris, hang on.
Brad, is there a bathroom in the room?
Yes, each hab unit has its own individual.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was downstairs pooping
Gentlemen.
while we do this, but
I consulted the dice gods because my brain said one thing and I wanted to make sure they agreed, and they did. Unfortunately, the
I feel pretty
threat
stressed.
of worldwide extermination and of worldwide infestation of Tyranids has you both stressed, so this will count as a stressful purgation.
Okay, what does that change?
You just have to add your warp charges that you are shedding in tens value to the purgate. So you have to make the test. If you succeed, the number of warp charges you shed adds to that number to your roll to impact.
Challenging +0 discipline psychic test. Got it.
Correct. They're both going to be challenging +0. You just have to pass, because if you fail, you just don't purgate.
Again.
And it's psychic discipline, right?
Correct.
Well, I mean, I rolled a 7.
Then
so
you're
it's
fine either way.
Pretty
But
good.
my point was just that
I failed.
you're failing. Okay, so you don't lose any warp charges, I believe is the result.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So Osiris, you pass.
Mhm.
You're gonna fade. You have 4 warp charges. How many do you want to keep? Because I know you keep manifesting certain things. Although you're gonna have to manifest them in the morning, so you just purging everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so purge them all. So you're gonna add 4 to your roll, or 40 to your roll, essentially.
Right, and it's still a pass.
Correct.
By plus 1.
No. Excuse me. You add the warp charges to your phenomena roll.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why stress is bad. Is it makes it the phenomena gets worse.
So I'm running on the
Still
psychic
not running on
phenomena.
perils of the warp. Still running psychic phenomena. You just add 40 to the
I
roll.
understand.
It becomes a higher number, and the higher numbers are
So
worse.
7. So it'd be 7 plus 40, so it's 47, and that is Banshee Howl.
Oh no! All right, roll me a
Good luck
Banshee
sleeping.
Howl. Yep, good luck sleeping. Roll me a.
I'm in
Little
I'm in a
level.
discrete area. It's fine. It's not lingering. I don't think.
Let's see. So you did that. You added the numbers. Perfect. You added 10 for the warp charges. You got a Banshee. Banshee Howl is really not that bad.
Yeah, it just sounds like someone taking a really bad shit.
Where are you purgating again?
The usual broom closet. I don't know.
Okay, so you duck into your own bathroom in your
Yeah.
hab unit, essentially. For 4 minutes, there's a non-stop, woman's screaming coming
It's
out
one
of the bathroom.
solid scream.
Just
No breath.
It's the Chester Bennington, and it just
yeah,
goes
yeah.
for 4 minutes straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super fucking loud. All right, but that clears out all of my
Clears you out for the morning. So in the
warp
morning,
charges.
we're gonna
Hold.
yes,
I
Holden.
attempted to purge, failed. Still, I'm going to manifest prescience to recharge
yes.
my prescience stuff.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12 under 41.
Beautiful.
Sorry, 81 because it's a plus 40 test.
Beautiful.
So
So
another
+7.
7 charges back in my
Now,
prescience.
what does that put you on warp charges?
3 out of 3.
Okay. Now
I'm not quite over yet.
I can't wait for y'all to go over. It gets way better when you do.
I can tell by the way you keep blocking me from purging. Carry on.
I'm not blocking you. You rolled poorly.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right. On that note,
Keep telling
So-
yourself that, Brad.
Look, if I
no money,
could,
no purging.
if I could, I would have made the purgations like the perils of the warp the whole time. That being said, 5.5 hours go by. Dmitry, anything you want to do before you all actually fade out to rest?
Just set my screamer at the door.
As you're setting your screamer, you have to endure 4 minutes of a Chester Bennington style scream out of your bathroom from Osiris's purgation. just this, you know, his 17-second scream.
Yeah.
It's that for 4 minutes.
Dope.
All right. So you all get your 5.5 hours of sleep. You awaken. You take down the screamer. You pack your stuff up. You head out to where the drop is going to be on the edge of Ditch Haven. Are you laughing at the word screamer?
No, I'm just imagining Osiris shutting the door. Just like it was a stressful day. I hope you get through this, man.
That's just how he vents, man.
Oh, do I heal
number
wounds?
2 work
Do I heal
for?
wounds when I sleep? How does that work?
Yes. As you're sleeping.
3 times.
As you are all resting, anyone who has wounds can take the normal heal test associated with sleeping. 5.5 hours is a little short, but I'm going to allow it. I think it's going to fit based on everything you guys got going on, that you're going to crash hard and fast. And
Nothing
we
to
don't
recap.
we don't
yet,
rest
thanks.
often. I don't remember how to do this.
all right, so that's a good time to quickly call this out. So when healing,
Close your eyes and pretend you're already asleep until you actually are asleep. That's how you fall asleep.
Essentially that. So
I'm on it.
once per day, after a good rest, which is 6 to 8 hours of sleep, which you don't have.
Sure.
So we're gonna tweak this a little bit.
Okay.
But after a good rest, you heal wounds equal to your toughness bonus automatically. Now, that being said, what I would like for all of you to do instead is give me a single roll, and it's going to be a
Toughness?
let's call it a fortitude toughness check. Challenging +0. If you pass, you will benefit from a good rest because you are at 5.5 hours, which is almost there.
I do not.
Okay.
I pass.
78 over 55, but
Okay.
I don't have any wounds to heal anyway. Is there a negative to not getting this as a good rest?
No.
Then it doesn't matter. I'm just tossing
Doesn't
and
matter.
turning, I guess.
Yeah, same.
So, Dmitry, how many wounds are you at right now?
I am full at 11.
Then you're good.
I was
You're
the
good.
only one wounded, I think.
I think so too, from getting shot.
I just had 1 wound. It's healed.
Okay.
I got a
Perfect.
14 out of 30 something.
Okay, Osiris, I'm assuming you're okay as well, because I don't think I've even touched you yet this game.
No, I'm actually completely unscathed. I didn't want to say
Yeah.
anything to jinx it, but knock on wood, I haven't been touched yet.
Oh, as a GM, we're gonna try
I
to change
pull
that.
out my gun and I shoot.
See, this is why I didn't want to fucking say anything.
I've always known. Okay, so you all quickly, you get the recap. You walk out of the inn. You head out to the edge of Ditch Haven. You go back towards where the markets were that you got the tardigrade leathers, where you got your acid-resistant gear, where you punted your way across the bog with Osiris's stolen boat. And very quickly, a single shuttle lands. Out of that shuttle walk 4 individuals clad in pure black, skull motifs across the bodies, shoulders, chest, hips, all human. They look to the 4 of you, nod once, and 2 of them with masks that are carved out of ivory skulls carry out a crate, rip the lid open. Inside is a bolter, a bolt pistol, a melta, and 5 melta bombs. The 4th individual off has tight cropped black hair, slightly mussy on top. His helm is in his hand. He looks to you all and he goes, "Right, mates? Scion Leovold Krumel at your service."
You didn't happen to bring our pay, did you?
"No,
You fuck.
I don't pay. I don't pay. I just go where the hell I'm told. And lucky for you all, good old Halikarn knew where to catch me this time."
How many mags for each?
Each weapon comes with 3 magazines.
What was this dude's last name?
Cromul. Cromul. And I should have given him a Canadian accent because this is our good old friend,
Not too late.
Lee.
Hey.
I'm going to change him to a Canadian accent. It's our good old friend Lee, aka Crotch Mullet.
Oh,
Our
crotch
last
mullet. Hell yeah.
supporting patron finally makes his appearance. So
Hell yeah.
Nice.
thank you so much for supporting us through the whole show. Here you are, finally.
We appreciate the weapons.
Coming in clutch.
He's been in my back pocket ever since we created his character during that process, and I was just like, oh man, I know exactly when you're going to show up, but when the hell is that going to be?
Right now. Meow.
So I'm going to do the stereotypical Canadian. He's just like, oh yeah, hey, you betcha. Brought you some weapons there. Hope they do well.
God.
Oh yeah. You want to go down to the Timmy H and get a little coffee before we go deal with this, yeah?
You don't go shooting our geese there now, huh?
The worst part is I have no idea how thick Lee's Canadian accent, if at all, is. So this is just going to be great. Lee, I'm sorry in advance. Don't kill me.
That was love. That was love.
But so you have a bolt gun, 3 mags. Bolt pistol, 3 mags. Melt-a-gun, 3 mags. 5 melta-charges. Osiris, there is no force sword.
I can't
Yeah, I could see that.
I can't hold any of that. So you guys disperse that amongst yourself as you will. I am fully encumbered.
Know what kind of gun melt-a-gun counts as, so...
A really powerful one.
Meltas are great.
I calls it.
Yeah, as that. I only want the pistol. That's all I want.
Who's getting the bolter?
I have no idea.
Looks like Osiris is getting that
Seems
bolt
like
in.
a good idea to ask for one.
It doesn't have any
I'll take a
chaos
bolter.
symbols on it at all.
There's no chaos symbols.
I won't say no to a free bolter.
I mean,
Honestly, the bolter is better than the stubber, but I've named it and everything, so it's...
how's your ranged skill, Osiris?
That's
Dude, the
It's
melted
all right.
gun does 16 damage.
Dude,
Do you know what a melta-gun actually shoots?
I would assume it's like... Well, I guess it's not plasma. 'cause
sun.
that's different.
lasers.
It's literally a sun. It shoots a fucking ball of like molten plasma at you. Not
Okay.
like a plasma gun, molten plasma.
It's
but, like,
interesting. Well, I was
a
going to say
shotgun.
plasma,
Now you
but
see,
then I
if it
saw...
was a plas gun, it would make sense.
It's called a plasma gun, dude.
No, it's a
I believe it's called a
single
plays,
target, Brad.
It's a place gun.
Melted guns are like point target stuff.
Yeah, melta guns are. Well, I thought they were shotguns.
Melted gun, it's like a ray,
Oh,
like a sun ray. Like it's like it shoots.
This is where-
shoots a
see-
solar flare, and
you
like
said
this
it
is
goes
where the video
right through
games did me
everything.
wrong. This is where the video games did me wrong because the video games all of the melta as like a solar flare in a diagonal triangular shaped cone.
And it's worth
Oi.
9,000 solar.
You said I have a bolt gun or a bolt pistol?
Bolt gun. Roderick took the bolt pistol.
Alright.
The traits, it's single armor piercing as a fuck.
Oh, that thing's
gun.
fucking heavy, dude.
If you don't want it, I'll take it. At my range, is still pretty good. I'm just specialized in pistols.
No, I mean it over encumbers me.
The traits for
Yeah,
a
it's
melta,
three
Dmitry, are
encumbrance.
loud, rend 5, and two-handed.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Ren 5, it just
Oh,
burns
yeah, it
through
doesn't have
armor.
spread. Yeah, it doesn't have spread. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to carry the bolt gun, Justin.
This
Yeah,
actually makes
we'll
sense
see.
because I always read melta
Yeah,
guns
I'll
as
carry it,
firing
I
a
don't care.
single like ball of fuck you, basically.
If I have to drop
I mean,
some
it
shit
is.
to do it, I will.
So you're keeping the bolt gun and bolt pistol?
Sure, I can shoot whatever. I have 50 in ranged, so
You got enough encumbrance slots, bro?
I don't know. I'm about to find
Dimitri,
out.
You're going to be
because of
extra
his
slow.
encumbrance, is going to be trading the flamer for the melta. So if anyone wants the flamer,
Leovold
that.
looks at all of you and just goes, "Well, holy fuck, there, boys! What in the world? Do you want to throw anything back up to the ship so you don't have to carry it around all this time, eh?" And it looks specifically at you, Mordecai, and goes, "You got a long gun, a big gun, a couple other guns. That's a lot of guns."
I hand him
look
3
at the
auto
crate.
pistols.
trade the stubber. Trade it in.
Actually, your auto pistols even weigh anything?
What'd you say about my stubber?
Yeah, they probably do.
Dude, you can have the
No, they
melta. I'll
don't.
keep the flamer if you want to trade.
The piggy stays with me.
Okay.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Actually, I mean, realistically, I should probably take that bolter and send the heavy stubber back.
Realistically,
with your
what
name
I
on it.
should do. Yeah.
the bolter
Keep
is
it.
considered a long gun.
I know.
Yeah, use the bolt gun. What are you doing?
Yeah, so
Name it.
I am gonna scratch my name into the side of it and I'm gonna look at him as I pat the pig. I better find this in my quarters when I get back to the ship. I trust you can do this for me. And I'll set it in there.
He grabs it, and you set it in there, and they quickly load it into a secure case, and he goes, Well, I'm not going to lie there, friend. I have no interest in your, you call it a pig. It's not my kind of gun there. Yeah. Not really anything I'm looking for. But if you're worried, I'm going to take your weapons. Oh, no. There's no point of that. The Scions have all the weapons we could ever want. Plenty of things we already got.
Perfect. And I look at Roderick. You look like that might be a bit heavy for you. You're more of a pistol guy, aren't you?
I sure am. Here you go. And I toss it up in the air.
Dangerous. I catch it. Hopefully.
As you guys are tossing this around, you watch as Levo Cromwell slams his helmet on, respirator, built-in visor, pulls up a very obviously a hot shot las gun, and just goes, voice changed by the respirator. Right. So, boys, we gonna do this thing. Take care of these little bugs, eh? Say there's some gene stealers out there that need a little blasting, eh?
Oh, you coming with us, mate?
Fuck yeah.
Rock on.
You told Halikarn that you needed some help, yeah? Well, he says that he's gonna send his best. That's us. 4 of us.
Let's
Respect.
go.
Once, and he looks at you, Dmitry, and he goes, Astra Militari, he knows one Scion's worth about 100 of his boys, eh? No offense, man. Just good to good.
Can I try to give him the Arnold Schwarzenegger hand grip?
You can
with my small Mordecai muscle.
You
Get
do.
vascular, Mordecai.
Yeah, you do. And he grabs you back and he just goes, all right then, eh? Yeah, all right, yeah. Here. And he pulls a crack grenade and puts it into your hand and goes, you might need one of those, eh?
Yeah, and then I also throw this las pistol into the crate with.
Yeah, y'all might want to just get rid of whatever weapons you're not going to use, eh? There's no point in carrying the weight.
Yeah.
Hey, Osiris, you want a flamer?
No.
Okay, I deposit the flamer.
Is he a psyker, eh? He ain't got a lot of weapons or armor there.
It's best if you stop asking questions about me.
No, it's all right. Hey, I mean, look, Halikarn's one too. You just never know. All right. Well, do we know where we're going?
I don't know.
Not
Really?
really, no.
Really?
Probably
not really,
to
no.
the center of that town where the psychic presence
right.
was, huh?
Well, I guess we're gonna follow you then. You 4 lead on. And at that point, Leovold's mask goes dark. The visor turns from red to black. The bottom respirator grill begins to glow faintly.
How many of them are coming?
Looks almost
with
like
us?
a leering skull. There's 4 of them. You have 4 Tempestus Scions, 4 of the best of the Astra Militarum going with you.
So it's gonna get real heavy real
Shit's
soon.
about to
So stick
fall.
around to find out what happens next time.
You just stole my line. You just stole my fucking line.
Plus 10 experience
I
to
just
Mordecai
ended your
for stealing his
episode.
line.
Take that, Halikarn. You greedy bitch.
Damn.
You damn kids and your damn dog. All right, on that note, thank you so much for joining us for the Tainted Hive Season 2, Children of Rokarth. As Mordecai says, if you actually want to see the shit go off, you got to tune in next time because things are about to pop. Maybe, maybe not.
Hey?
Will our party survive? I never know anymore. It's just a question of if. But I do know that they would not have this opportunity to potentially die in the Emperor's name if it wasn't for the sponsors of ours over at primetimemagic.com. Give them more love than Halikarn has given the 4 of these guys all season. And go
Wouldn't take
show them a
much.
little support. You know
Dude,
what? Hey,
Halikarn has a huge magic collection as well, and he hoards that shit. He doesn't
Where do you
share
get
it
that
with
magic
anybody.
collection?
primetimemagic.com.
PrimetimeMagic.com. The intergalactic store.
There he is.
What?
Bonesaw!
Go on over to primetimemagic.com. Yeah.
Come.
Thank you so much for joining us. Head on over to deadsunsco.com to find all of our access to all of our reviews of other materials, all the games we've ever played. Depending on when you're seeing this, there's a lot that is out already by the time we film this, and depending on when you watch it, there's a lot more coming down the pipeline. So quite frankly, deadsunsco.com is the best place to find everything we've ever done. If you like what you heard, the best way to help us is to tell your friends to watch our show and to watch Alex in particular with his wonderful Macho Man Mordecai Savage impression.
Don't watch me.
And more so than that, if you like what we do, He just shuts his fucking camera off. If you like what we do, head over to patreon.com/deadsonscompany. Show us a little love over there. But regardless, we appreciate all your support, and we will see you next time for the Tainted Hive Season 2, Children of Rokarth.
.com.
Experience.
Oh, shit, experience. God damn, I didn't do it.
Damn it.
XP.com.
It can't be called a PPS if you're still here. It can't be called a breadcrumb trail, so we're going to call it a follow the trail of Tyranid Icar as everyone gets 10 XP.
Right on.
And
Terrible. Whack.
I don't have a good one. All right.
Said whack.
Fine. You know what? You want to call it whack? Fine. Nobody gets experience.
I didn't
because
say
the
whack.
Tyranid Icar
Roderick said it.
I already added it, Brad. It's too late.
because the Tyranid Icar trail doesn't exist. Instead, follow the trail of corpse paste.
No. Why does it gotta be gross stuff? Why can't it be something
10
epic?
experience each. In addition,
Could be
Dmitry-
Werther's.
Yeah, why
Dmitry-
isn't it? You get 10 Warders originals.
actually, you know what?
doesn't
It's
want
going
it.
to become the Warder's Original trail from now on.
Hell yeah.
Were there any
Skate
Werther's originals in the
Ooh,
box
Werther's.
care package?
No, because you made too much use of them.
Right.
Dmitry, you got 50 for understanding the puzzle first. Everyone gets 10. And in addition to all of that, Osiris, you're going to get an additional 10 because I rolled some dice on your behalf. But not only did you see the main problem, you did not get corrupted by the main problem. So, congratulations, sir, for an extra 10 XP. So we'll be back next time. 10 XP to everybody. Dmitry, an extra 50. Osiris, an extra 10. And until then, if you're still here after all this PPS, we'll see you next time. We are Dead Sons Company. I'm the terrible GM himself.
It's going to be your new
Don't
nickname.
start that.
It's going to be my nickname. It's going to be my new thing.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.